I'm JRHNBR, dude.
Just the right height to fuck him without a bucket.
No, bucket is required. It's been funny to me for a decade, dude.
I've honestly never heard that, and that was fucking disturbing.
I'm glad I could spread the infection. Like, you're just gonna be sitting around one day, and then suddenly the acronym's gonna flash in your mind, JRHNBR, and you can't tell your wife about it. Like, what's she gonna think?
Well, I'm gonna show her the video.
I think you and Teresa should dress up as that couple for Halloween.
I'll be the woman.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like, I remember when, like, the early days of the internet when it was mainly used to find out weird kinks that you'd never heard of and point and laugh. I found a little write-up about a guy who was only sexually attracted to vehicles. He mainly fucked cars. But his favorite conquest was he fucked the helicopter from Airwolf at, like, a county fair air show.
Hell yeah. That's actually kind of sick that he, like, that he did that, like, under the radar. Did he get caught?
No.
That's impressive.
Does he have proof though? Does he got pics of
He doesn't have proof, video, so maybe he was lying.
Of, like,
no video.
The cum shot
happen.
on the helicopter blades or something.
I guess, how do you fuck a car?
Yeah, where do you? The car
tailpipe is like, I guess, like the.
Where do you fuck a helicopter? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, if you're
on it.
If you're a JD Vance type, then probably the seats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
JD Vance fucks the couches.
Lately, I've been watching the Osbournes like basement tapes, and it's really fun to watch the Osbournes and cringe at themselves.
Yeah, I'm almost through all the ones that they have posted.
I wouldn't want to watch a reality show of me at 16 when I'm like 40. Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Jack seems to like have a good sense of humor about it, but you could tell Kelly is just like, oh God, no.
Well, I mean, you've seen how she looks now. I bet she looks like a completely different person in the Osbournes than how she looks now.
She's in her scenester phase.
Well, yeah, she's in her scenester phase, but also she's had some work done.
I told Dave that
I think Sharon's had more work done. Sorry.
Well, Sharon's had more time on this earth, so that does make sense. Yeah, but
I told Dave that I'm glad that she had a kid with the guy from Slipknot, because that's the opification of the Osbournes. We're turning them into Midwesterners.
Hell yeah, yeah. The DJ from Slipknot.
He's very Midwestern looking. To today's episode of Side 1, Side B. I'm Steve.
I'm Dave.
Am I side C?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
C for Sean.
C for Sean.
And I'm side D for Clayton.
And today we are paying tribute to the recently fallen, a musician that I hold in very high regard, somebody that was offered the bass player position in Metallica. Let's pour one out for Hulk Hogan.
Oh, I thought you were I was like, oh, Chuck Mangione almost played the bass in Metallica?
No, today we're talking about the singer from my favorite band, Ozzy Osbourne. What do you guys think about the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne?
Rest in peace, my
Dark Prince.
Friends.
Yeah. Oh, great singer, great front man. I like the Sabbath stuff in general more than his solo stuff, but maybe that's because I have heard Crazy Train played by a polka band at Oktoberfest every 4 songs for too many years in a row. But yeah.
Crazy Train's one of those songs that I don't really enjoy listening to anymore, but that's just because the first time I heard it, I thought it was awesome. But
yeah,
I've heard it so many times now.
It's overplayed.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was a roadie for a 80s cover band, and they covered Crazy Train, so I heard it like nightly for a while there. But it's still a great song. It just it it's not his best in my opinion anymore, because I like Mr. Crawley better. Some other songs. I like the synth opening of Mr. Crawley.
Oh yeah, that's cool and creepy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I actually enjoy his solo career too. But yeah, Sabbath was my introduction to him, especially the first album, like, which was always like almost horror-esque, like in its sound, you know, like Black Sabbath and NIB and
I don't care for
The
most of his
Wizard.
solo career, but the first two records are fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, did you read that piece John Darnielle of the Mountain Goats wrote about Ozzy and like how much he meant as a front man?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
He talked about how like one of the things that made Ozzy so great as a front man is like, you know, like he didn't write the lyrics, but he was the one who was like really like selling the song to like the crowd and really made the band in that regard. And also he talked about how one of the things that made him so relatable was you could hear yourself singing that kind of stuff too. Like it was like he wasn't like a super virtuosic singer, and that's what made him so great, was he made all of that seem more approachable in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something I've really respected about all of the guys from Sabbath, is they were working class guys that managed to escape.
Yeah.
Despite having everything against them, you know, shitty managers, shitty business practices, Iommi literally getting his fingers cut off.
Singers leaving.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Ozzy. He is a pop culture icon. Like, he's not just like metal and rock, but just in pop culture in general. He's a force. And he was a force in everybody's life. Sabbath is probably my favorite band of all time. And while I always bitch that everybody only thinks of the Ozzy years when they think of Sabbath, there is good reason to that, because he was just so infectious. And
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Wait, I mean, like you were saying, that guy said,
John Darnielle.
yeah, John Darnielle. He made everything seem approachable. What I also really loved about him was that he didn't take himself too seriously. Like, he was the Prince of Darkness and stuff like that. But, you know, they had the Osbournes, and you'd see interviews of him, and he's just like making jokes and is like kind of a down homey, kind of funny guy, you know?
Yeah.
So he didn't like take that moniker so much to heart. He just
I was actually
more
thinking
branding.
I was actually thinking the other day, it's like Dio liked to call him a clown, like insultingly, but it's like Ozzy himself, like everybody talks about how funny he is. I think Ozzy himself would probably see himself as a clown.
Oh, he
But
definitely did.
absolutely,
Yeah.
Well, and like you look at like interviews with him, there was one where he's like, it was like back in the 80s, he had just like shaved his head, and they're like, why'd you shave your head? I just felt like it.
Yeah.
And then like they're like, so what are your hobbies outside of music? Sex. And they're like, anything else? Sex.
Oh, and he was one of the 4 people interviewed for Decline of Western Civilization Part 2 that doesn't look like a total asshole. The other 3, if you were wondering, are Lemmy, Alice Cooper, and oddly, Dave Mustaine.
Alice Cooper looked like an asshole?
No, he didn't. He was one of the 4 that didn't.
Oh,
everyone
gotcha,
else,
sorry.
all of like the younger like hair bands, as well as like Aerosmith and Kiss, for the other older bands that all look like assholes in that movie.
Yeah.
Well, Sean, I'm glad you mentioned him shaving his head bald, because the album we're looking at today, when it was recorded, he was bald on stage, and he was just like wearing sweatpants.
Which
Honestly,
doesn't surprise me.
He should have done more shows like that. That would have been funny.
Is this pre Ultimate Sin or post Ultimate Sin?
Pre. Well, we'll talk about the album a bit. So today we're going to be looking at the first time I heard Black Sabbath wasn't Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
It was their former singer covering a bunch of Black Sabbath songs. So we're looking at Speak of the Devil, or Talk of the Devil if you're over in the UK. I guess Speak of the Devil isn't a phrase over there. They say Talk of the Devil. This is a live album that they put out right after Diary of a Madman.
Talk of the devil sounds like a phrase people who eat beans on toast for breakfast would use.
Fucking Brits.
This album, I think, was either a Ozzy, well, probably not an Ozzy idea, but this was either like a record company idea or a management idea, because Black Sabbath were putting out their own album at the time. I got it right here, called Live Evil.
Live Evil.
Live evil.
So basically, Ozzy wanted to get this one out first, so they booked a couple nights at the Ritz, and they just recorded a bunch of Sabbath covers, and yeah, that's the album we'll be taking a look at today. Originally, they were going to do this album with Randy Rhoads, and Randy really didn't want to do it. Randy was not a Black Sabbath fan. Drummer Tommy Aldridge also didn't want to do it, and Rudy Sarzo went along with the band. So they went to Sharon, and Sharon's like, "Oh, it's fine." But Ozzy got really pissed. Like he would like antagonize him, and like he would go up to Randy and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get Frank Zappa to play on the album." And then part of me is like, I wish that was like a true threat. That actually happened. That would have been cool. But yeah, basically they threw this album together, and yeah, are you guys familiar with it at all?
No.
Yes. I actually really like this album. I've listened to it several times. I remember listening to it back in the day, though, so I haven't heard it in probably it's like 20 plus years. But it's a really good live album. Like, because there was a time where I was really into live albums, and I like Sabbath, so I was like, I wanted to hear Ozzy's version of Sabbath songs. So I remembered it. I liked it, and they're good performances.
I first came across this one in the same way as the Jerry Cantrell album. My dad's buddy would just burn discs for my dad, and they would just end up in my CD players. And this was one of the ones that he burnt for my dad. This one and Ozzy's like current solo album at the time, Down to Earth. So I listened to both of those, both this album and that one, a lot at the time. And eventually got a vinyl copy for $5.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the track listing there?
I think it's a decent selection of Sabbath songs, honestly. There's no like deep cuts, it's all hits.
Yeah.
Except Symptom of the Universe, I feel like is an interesting opener, but
I guess Never Say Die was a single, but to me that's kind of a deep cut, just because like nobody likes Never Say Die.
yeah.
Yeah, there's some really
Who played on it?
I think most of it's from the early years, but then there's like one like Sabotage song. Yeah, like Symptom of the Universe is kind of a weird opening. When did Technical Ecstasy come? Is that before or after Sabotage?
That was 78,
That's after Sabotage. Technical
was
Ecstasy.
before.
or it might have been 77.
That was
might have been
before.
a 76.
Sabotage is the last one they did with Ozzy.
No, the last one they did was Never Say Die.
I mean, Never Say Die. That's what I mean. Sorry. Never Say Die.
Yeah, Sabotage. It was Sabotage, and
I'm
then
mixing up
Technical
Sabotage and
Ecstasy,
Never Say Die.
and then Never Say Die.
Yeah. So is there a song from Never Say Die on there?
I
Yeah,
didn't
the title
see
track.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Side 3. Never Say Die.
Oh, Never Say Die. Huh?
Now, if you were a Sabbath fan in '82, your options would have been this bootleg. It's not really a bootleg. This was put out by their manager Patrick Meehan.
Boo.
Yeah, we talked about him during the Volume 4
Fuck
episode.
him.
He's a real piece of shit. Like, he basically, all the money that Sabbath made went into his pockets. And if you want to see how that money's being spent today, you can find his son on Instagram going on yacht vacations and cruises and shit on Sabbath's dime. So
Maybe his son should take his yacht into the orca-infested waters off the coast of Spain.
the track list on this one's I would say probably more obscure.
Let's see.
The Live at Last one.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one. So
That one was one they were planning on putting out as a live album, and the band didn't want to do it. And then after they changed managers, their ex-manager's like, well, I'm going to put it out now anyway.
Oh, and it's got Ozzy on it.
Well,
They also spell it Ozzy Osbourne with
Ozzy
2
Osbourne.
S's on the back.
Aussie.
Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah,
Well,
this is a weird track list, honestly.
the funny
Killing yourself to
because
live
I mean
is
that's
cool.
kind of
Tomorrow's Dream as the opener. Cornucopia.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
I want to say the Killing Yourself to Live, that was recorded before they recorded it for the album. So that's kind of neat. And then your other option was Live Evil. You're
Dio.
probably pretty familiar with this.
I have this one. I own this record, and I do honestly like it.
Live Evil.
Well, and it's I mentioned the first time I heard Black Sabbath was the this Ozzy release. The first time I intentionally bought a Black Sabbath album, it was this one on CD, and I immediately put it in. I thought it was a compilation for some reason, even though it's called Live Evil. Like, I asked the guy at Hastings, and he's like, "Oh, I think it's a compilation." And so I put it in. I put it in. Immediately go to Paranoid, and I'm like, "Why the fuck is a punk singer singing on this?"
Ozzy is more of a punk singer than Dio is, though. Like by a wide margin.
Well, I think about that today, and like the way that he delivered Ozzy songs, I didn't care for quite as much. Like I love the way that he sings his songs. I actually really love the way he sings NIB. Like I think his version of NIB is really good. But like Paranoid, I think just to me he sounded like a punk singer. I don't know if that really holds up.
I would have to hear that. I'm curious about that now.
We're gonna do this album at some point.
Yeah, I might have to listen to that because I would be curious to hear how he'd play how he sings.
Dio sings. It's mostly Ozzy Sabbath stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
No, actually, it's probably about half and half. But it's all the hits.
Yeah.
Iron Man, War Pigs, Paranoid, Children of the Grave.
Oh, okay.
I actually really liked their decision in the 2000s to play under Heaven and Hell because they weren't obligated to play those songs anymore. I thought that was a good move.
Yeah.
Like side 2 of this is all Ozzy era stuff, and like the big hits off of Paranoid. Or no, there's from the first album. There's Black Sabbath, but yeah, it's like War Pigs, Iron Man, and Black Sabbath are all. That's just like all of side 2.
That's pretty.
It is an interesting record.
And also the one that led to the demise of that version of Sabbath. Yeah, you mentioned on the boot. Well, not the boot, like the frowned upon release that they spelled it Ozzy Osbourne. Live Evil's full of some passive aggressiveness where they just named him Ronnie Dio.
Yeah.
And they moved Vinny Appice and Jeff Nichols to the special thanks section.
Wow.
They treated Brad Wilk a lot better once 13 rolled around. I'll say that.
Yeah.
At the time, there was a lot of tensions. Like engineers were telling Tony and Geezer that like Ronnie was mixing up his vocals and all that kind of stuff, and there's a whole bunch of drama. Someday we'll cover this album and we'll talk about it more in detail. That one came out after the one we'll be talking about today, and yeah, I think that's all I got to say about that. So
Makes me feel bad for Bill Ward too. Yeah.
well, Bill unfortunately was dealing with a lot of stuff during that time, and I think he just kind of ended up deciding I don't want to play in Sabbath unless Ozzy's there. I think that just ended up being his. They tried to bring him back for the Heaven and Hell sessions. Like they were doing the 3 bonus tracks on the Dio Year CD, and they wanted him to play more like a typical drummer, like just play it straight through. And he's like, "Well, I don't play that way. Like I play along with Tony, and that's the way I've always played it. And if you want me to do it that way, you can get a different drummer." And they did.
Yeah.
Well, I think the people talk a lot of shit about like them firing Ozzy, but it actually turned out to be a good thing for probably all of them involved because like
I think Heaven and Hell was the first album that
with Dio,
that charted for him or something like that.
Yeah.
That album is really good.
Yeah,
too.
it is.
Yeah.
It revived their career. Yeah.
I think that album is really good.
It gave him a shot in the arm
And the last-
that like the later Ozzy Black Sabbath albums didn't have.
Yeah, those were a decline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
My dad, he saw them on the Heaven and Hell tour playing with Blue Oyster Cult, and he says he doesn't remember a damn thing about it because he was on acid. He said the only thing he remembers is he remembered Dio coming out, and I guess he had like this big old robe on, and I can picture it because I think I know exactly which robe he's talking about, but he like opened it up and it was like red and the lights like shined on him, so he said it looked pretty satanic at the time. I'm like, that sounds awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
My dad saw that same show, I'm pretty sure.
at least he saw that tour.
But then they also like found out that the dude was ripping them off too, so that kind of helped them with their management because Ozzy told him that he's like fucking us. He's fucking us up.
Oh yeah. I think even to this day they still don't make anything off the first 6 records. Maybe they've bought the rights back since then or something. But
Damn.
Was it 6 or 5?
it might be at 5 because I think Sabotage they kicked him to the curb at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, all of the profitable records
Yeah.
of Sabbath, I would say.
It's kind of a minor miracle that they're millionaires themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they managed that after becoming millionaires before, technically.
Well, I mean, like, because Sharon Osbourne found Ozzy in some fucking apartment that was like really shitty apartment or whatever.
She's engaged in a lot of awful business practices, but she saved Ozzy's life. I actually believe that she loved him.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of like humanizing moments from her too. Like I saw this clip of her on The Voice where like the other 2 guys were ripping into this like 16-year-old, and she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? And like comforted her and took her off to the side and told her, hey, I know you have a dream. Don't listen to those fuckers,
Yeah.
So it's like, hate Sharon for what she did to the original Blizzard of Oz lineup and what she did to Iron Maiden at Ozfest and all that kind of stuff, but I also don't think she was like the worst human being alive either.
No.
I think she was a good business manager. Like, so a lot of
Her
the
dad taught her well. Her
Yeah,
dad
like
is
a lot of-
huge manager.
yeah, like a lot of her decisions were based off of like, okay, well, it's branding, all that crap. That's what a manager does. It's not necessarily like, oh, we're good friends with these people, so we gotta, always be like on chart. So I mean, yeah, maybe she had some questionable stuff, but she did what she did, and she kept her family going. So
I mean, comparatively to so many other people that did music management in the scene, she was probably actually one of the better people in it. To be honest.
oh yeah,
And I have some sympathy for her too because she did see Ozzy at his worst, and he did try to kill her.
Yeah, he did try to kill her. Like, that's something I wanted to bring up because it does seem like Ozzy gets a lot of passes for things that a lot of other people wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because he's such a goofy, fun guy, dude.
but even when she talks about it now, she's kind of like, it is what it was,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he clearly wasn't in his right mind, and he needed to get help, and he did. But yeah, that's still something that happened, and it's like, and then when I've been reading the obituaries, I've been reminded that it's like, whoa, oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it? Although another detail I like from having read the obituaries is I had completely memory hold that the biting the head off the bat incident was in Des Moines. It's funnier for it being in Des Moines, Iowa.
Well, and I think it's funny because it was an accident, and he's like, it fucking hurt. I had to get a fucking rabies shot.
Yeah, there's a clip where he's talking about, he's like, oh, I had to get 2 in the ass and 2 in the arm. And
Also, I kind of wonder what was going through the fans' mind to throw like a live bat onto the stage.
Well, was that before the dove? Was the bat before the dove?
I think that was after.
the dove.
So he's like
So-
people are just throwing animals at him,
One-
hoping
one-
that he'll bite their heads off.
One of his, so I actually read his autobiography, which is fucking great if you ever.
It's really good, yeah.
Yeah.
All
if
the
you
Sabbath
haven't
guys
read
have a
it,
good one.
it's fucking hilarious. And he used to have a stick where he bit the heads off of rubber bats. It was like rubber.
Yeah.
And so someone threw a bat on stage. He thought it was a rubber bat. So he picked it up, and then he actually tasted blood, and that's when he realized it was a real bat. So it
Des
wasn't
Moines,
like
Iowa.
so it wasn't like on purpose.
But I wonder how on purpose it was. Like, you're gonna tell me that he picked up a real bat and thought that was rubber? Have you felt a real bat? They're
Yes.
furry. It moves.
He was
like,
also on a lot of drugs.
That's what I'm
What
saying.
cocktail
I blame
of-
the drugs more than.
I would say let's go where it really was.
He was
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine, yeah, I blame the drugs more than I just thought it was a rubber bat. I'm like, he's gonna say whatever the fuck.
That was what, the 80s? He was probably on like a balanced cocktail of cocaine and lewds.
He probably picked that up and he was like, "Oh, this thing's real shit."
All right, so let's talk about the show that this comes from. You know, we mentioned before. I mentioned before that Randy Rhoads was originally supposed to play guitar on this, and eventually, what happened is eventually Ozzy finally bullied Randy into doing it. But he basically said, "All right, I'll do this one, and I'll do one more studio album, then I'm done. I'm going back to college." Instead, fate had other plans for him, unfortunately. So they bring in Brad Gillis from Night Ranger. I don't know. The rhythm section of Rudy Sarzo and Tommy Aldridge were part of his solo band, and they had originally said they weren't going to do this album, and then now they are. So I don't know if maybe they just said fuck it and decided to.
They pulled up a dump truck full of money.
The shows that this came from supposedly was from 2 nights at the Ritz in New York on September 26th and 27th of 1982, and they also recorded a set that was to nobody. Like, it was like the rehearsals, and from what I understand, one song made it from those rehearsals, and I won't reveal which one it is. I want to see if you guys pick up on it.
Do they add fake crowd noises?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of this, I think all the rest of this is from the second night. I listened to the bootleg from it. The bootleg is really interesting because they keep all of Ozzy's like antics in it. So like at one point there's like, oh yeah, this song reminds me of the time we'd be fucking groupies in the hotel room. Like, that didn't make it onto this.
I wonder why. Wife manager, maybe.
The first night, I haven't heard the bootleg of the first night, but supposedly the band didn't do as good, but Ozzy was pretty good. The second night, Ozzy's vocals weren't great, but the band did better. So what they did is they completely replaced the vocals on this. So everything you'll be hearing was not Ozzy live. And I listened to the...
They did it in the studio or something?
Yeah.
Like, they just... Okay.
A number of the songs he was completely off key from the bootleg. But some of it was just stuff like, well, he's running around on stage, so it wasn't consistent. So stuff like that. I lean more in the camp of make it sound the best you can. So I'm glad that they redid the vocals personally.
Oh, what? So did the bootleg sound like fucked up because he was all off key?
A little bit, like on Symptom of the Universe, he was completely off. He did really good on a number of the other songs, but sometimes it'd be like an occasional vocal crack, or like he's running around, so like his mic is like, so it'd be like this, you know, I'm far away from my mic right now.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
that kind of stuff. And of course, you know, we've all seen the clips of him like where he'll take the mic out of the stand, sing like one line, and then put it right back in, and then take it out again. So probably a bunch of that kind of stuff. So
That reminds me, there was a Dead Boys live album that they were contractually obligated to make but didn't want to make. So Stiv Bators tanked the show by not singing into the mic. And then like years later they decided to re-release it like shortly before Stiv died, and he just re-recorded the vocals.
yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Like I think Judas Priest's live album Unleashed in the East, like people jokingly refer to it as Unleashed in the Studio.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The band, they do a pretty good job on this. When I first heard it years ago, when I was a teenager and didn't pay attention to like the tightness of the band and stuff like that, I thought it was great. As somebody that's been listening to Sabbath now for like 30 years, it's like, oh, they
fucked it up.
Yeah, they fucked up there. Or like Brad Gillis, he's more of like a a glam metal player.
More of like a Night Ranger type.
I think he did a great job on this, but he sounds more like him than Iommi, I'll say that. And then I thought the rhythm section was pretty good. Rudy Sarzo doesn't really come close to Geezer Butler, but how many people really do? Tommy Aldridge, on the other hand, he had an advantage because he used to be in Black Oak, Arkansas, and they used to open for Sabbath a lot, so he was just familiar with all these songs. And honestly, drum-wise, I think that's the best I've heard Sabbath with anybody besides Bill Ward, because I don't really care that much for Vinny Appice. Like, he's a fine drummer, but I prefer Bill's like jazz style. Cozy Powell was great, but yeah,
Cozy Powell is better in a fucking Jethro Tull.
But yeah, I think that's all I got to say about the album. We'll talk about the cover design and artwork by Steve Jewell. Who wants to talk about the cover?
I want to talk about it because I'm going to say it's better than pretty much every Black Sabbath cover from the OZZY era.
They do have a pretty bad track record with album covers. Although I am curious about, do you know what's in his mouth?
Strawberry jam.
Strawberry. I was going to say, it looks like jam or jelly or something.
There's an interview where he went on like daytime TV and they showed the cover. He's like, oh, it's perfect for American Thanksgiving.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, the cover is Ozzy in like a frame with a bunch of runes on it and like a demonic bat head on the top, sitting on a throne with fangs and strawberry jam dripping out of his mouth, and he's wearing like a long blonde wig.
Yeah. He was bald during that.
Yeah, because that looks like a wig to me, and knowing that he was bald, that tracks. Yeah, and he has like a Japanese ogre tattoo, and yeah, he's leaning forward, looking kind of like down towards the camera, like he's an ogre about to eat the viewer. And then on the inside, there's Ozzy sitting on the throne again. He's holding like a big silver cross.
Guess who the name of the little person is? Not their actual name, but what they called him.
Warwick Davis. Oh wait, what is
Warwick Davis.
Is that Warwick Davis?
Well, they called him Ronnie.
Oh,
So if you want to know why Dio never really forgave Ozzy,
Yeah, there's a little guy. There's like a little person sitting underneath him who's wearing like corpse makeup and is like bleeding out of his nose. And
Let me. I
they would
can't see
hang
it.
him during every set, and they'd call him Ronnie. Yeah,
that's-
I don't think Ronnie ever really forgave him for that.
well, that's a dick move.
Yeah, it is. I don't blame him at all.
Hey, I didn't see it, dude.
I'll pass it.
Okay.
give him a sec.
No,
And then on
I
the
want
back-
it now.
On the
Give him a
back,
fucking
there's
second.
the track list, and then the band circled by runes in a red circle around them. Here you go.
I want to see the. I want to see Ronnie.
You want to see Ronnie?
He goes by Ronald now.
Ronald James Dio. Does Max Sabbath do any of the Ronnie James Dio era songs?
No, I actually asked the guy about it, and I forget exactly what he said, but he was really funny about it because the guy that fronts Max Sabbath is unsurprisingly really funny. And that was probably one of my favorite shows I ever did was when we opened for them.
Yeah, because
That was a good time.
Yeah, because he could go by the name like Ronald McDio or
I actually suggested that. I was like, yeah, are you guys going to get a Ronald McDio? He's like, oh, we'd love to get a Ronald McDio.
Or a Tony McDonald's.
Yeah, the jam does look terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't look like blood.
It's just supposed to be flesh.
Ah.
Gelatinous flesh.
Yeah. Like it is pretty obviously jam. Yeah.
So on the first side,
On the first side,
Speaking of jam, let's
kick out the
this
jams,
record.
motherfucker.
kick out the jam, motherfucker.
Does it need to be a triple album? There's only 3 songs aside.
I know, right?
Does it need to be a double
It's
album?
not really that long.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, it's not as long as Live Evil is.
I'm like, are they jamming through a lot of these or something? That's why there's all the jam.
Yeah, maybe.
it was probably just like slightly too long to.
No, they
Fit on the
heard
normal
Live
side
Evil
and,
was
yeah.
coming out, so they're like, well, we need a double album too.
Yeah, because I think Live Evil's like twice as long.
Yeah.
But yeah, first side we got Symptom of the Universe. Then we got Snowblind and Black Sabbath. And
It's a good side.
yeah,
Yeah,
all
that's like an
bangers.
interesting mix of songs too, like in that order.
Yeah, it's weird doing Symptom of the Universe first and not Black Sabbath.
I know. All aboard!
Someone's been in my room drinking my beers.
Who could have done that, Ozzy? Who's the beer thief? Who could have done that? It's you, Ozzy. You're the beer thief.
Probably because he was doing it the night before.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't listened to the first bootleg, but a guy that I was watching review it said he sounded pretty good the first night, but the band didn't sound as good. So they just they used basically the second night. So, all right, we're back from side one of Speak of the Devil or Talk of the Devil, depending on what locale.
Talk of the devil. Talk of the devil.
What do you guys think?
I had fun.
Yeah, it's great to I like the different takes of Black Sabbath songs. Symptom of the Universe actually sounded good, like the re-recorded vocal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The other two, I like the originals better, but they were fun interpretations of it. Like, I enjoyed it, even though I had some nitpicks about the third one, which we'll get to when we get to it. But like, as a whole, it won me over by the end. So
You could definitely tell that they re-recorded him in the studio.
yeah.
Especially after hearing the bootleg, he is definitely re-recorded in the studio.
It was especially noticeable in the song Black Sabbath, and I think that's just because the instruments weren't as loud, so you could hear his vocal, and then like hugging it was his like slightly out of tuned vocals that he gave during the original. But yeah, we listened to a bit of the bootleg version of Symptom of the Universe, and he was not.
That was not slight on Symptom of the Universe.
yeah, he was really out.
And supposedly, I think it sounds like he probably blew his voice at the first show. I'll say this: having heard the whole bootleg, he gets better as time goes on. So I think he just got more used to it as time went on as well. So
Where his voice was sitting being blown. Yeah.
Maybe he hadn't warmed up before the show.
Ozzy doesn't strike me as a warming up kind of guy.
Yeah, maybe he was just really fucked up on drugs also.
Yeah,
That would
he
probably
was
be a good
almost
one.
certainly. Yeah,
That's probably a good reason.
for me, I think it's a good side of music. I think Symptom of the Universe with the more metallic sound I thought fit really good. Snowblind, I thought they did a great job, and Black Sabbath. You noted that they did a better job at the like the faster songs, but like Black Sabbath probably wasn't the most optimal song for this lineup, but I'd say they still pulled it off.
I think it was fine.
They still sound like a really good Sabbath cover band.
Yeah.
My sunglasses suit you really well.
I sat on them.
I like if I heard a band that billed itself as a Sabbath cover band play this at a bar, I'd be standing near the front, kind of nodding along.
I'd be like, hell yeah, brothers! You sound just like Ozzy.
I'm guessing the draw for this show, if you were there, was more to watch Ozzy like
Do Black Sabbath songs?
Well, I was gonna say just be crazy on stage.
Yeah.
Like, less so than him getting things note for note or anything. But
This is pre-Ultimate Sin. I use that as a delineation because that's like what I consider the sober Ozzy album, right? Ultimate Sin.
I thought No More Tears was his first sober album.
No, I think Ultimate Sin was. That's the one where he's like the weird dragon on the front. And
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
bitch.
But
I
I thought he said No More Tears was his first sober album. Maybe that was the second.
I
sober
was always
album.
under the impression that Ultimate
could be
Sin
wrong,
was
yeah.
his first solo album. Like that's at least the album that he made when he came back from rehab.
Well, yeah, that.
Doesn't mean he was
I also
sober.
know his bandmates said the second he gets out of rehab, he'd be like, "Oh, time for a drink."
Yeah.
he
He's the
relapsed
same
a
guy
lot,
that asked the Betty Ford Center where the bar was.
Well, he asked Betty Ford herself. She's like, "Where's the bar?"
What'd you guys think of the the other band members, basically. I mean, we had a heavy metal guitarist, like more of a glam metal style guitarist, and then I think the drummer was reasonably similar to Bill Ward, like kind of a rock drummer.
The rhythm section stood out as more interesting to me, though I didn't think like the guitar playing was bad. I thought it was just more passable, you know?
Yeah. Well, he had the least amount of time to learn these songs. I think he literally had a couple days.
Yeah.
So I mean, he did good for like having no time to do it.
Yeah.
So
He's a pro. He's a night ranger.
A professional doing a passable job, basically, yeah.
What I noticed the most is he did a pretty good job of staying in like the same general like spirit of the guitar solos while not playing at all what Iommi played.
Exact guitar solo.
no.
And I kind of prefer when guitar players do their own take on solos, like especially if they're like, you know, in a band like this where they come in. It's kind of their time to shine, I'd say. You know?
Yeah.
I like it when guitar solos by the same guy aren't note for note on the live version.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I like guitar solos.
Well, like Iommi never played the same solo twice,
Yeah.
really. There's a video of him doing like an instructional video where they said, all right, play the solo. So he plays the solo, and then they're like, okay, now we're going to play it back again, and you're going to do it slower. And he's like, oh, blimey. he said if you watch it.
Do what I did.
Yeah, he does not play the same thing the second time. And yeah, track by track opens up with Symptom of the Universe.
I thought it was a good version.
Yeah, it was a good version.
It's pretty sick.
I thought it was a weird one to start. We all thought it was a weird one to start out.
But it actually worked as a album opener, so I thought it was good.
Getting the crowd hyped up. That song's like the first thrash song. I feel like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was really good.
Well, and the crowd chanting Ozzy leading into it was a great way just like to start the whole live album. And like, yeah, I liked how they played it faster and like it was a great high energy opener. It was good.
Yeah, I thought it was a great version. That one actually was, I think, the best played on this side, like out of the three.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that.
And then Snowblind was, or did you have anything to say about it?
No, it was sick. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a good version. I think that the rhythm section, like, I think all the band really shined on that one because it was kind of a heavier, harder song, and they seem more geared toward that. And I thought it went real well. Now we can move on to Snowblind. Sean,
sorry.
Please tell me your opinions on Snowblind.
It's so good. It's all great. I like this version. This was the one where I really could tell that he recorded his vocals separately.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a good version.
I do like triumphantly yelling the word cocaine rather than whispering it. Much better.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I also like this version. I think it's got a good energy. Like Dave, I much prefer to hear the word cocaine shouted excitedly.
I do cocaine!
Yeah, I thought it was a fun version.
Dr. Roxo's clean!
And then the side closes out with what I thought was really amusing is how he starts it by saying, "Oh, this is the first song I ever wrote." It's like you didn't fucking write that, Ozzy.
0 parts of that song.
That was
exactly 0.
That was a dream that Geezer had. Yeah.
This was, I think, it was kind of fun, but it was probably the sloppiest version. Like, I liked his little laugh that he was doing that was really creepy. He's like, that was fun. But, like, even when they got to the fast part, like, the that just sounded like really, really sloppy to me. So I thought that was I thought this was the most, like, sloppiest played. And
most sloppiest, huh?
yeah. You like them good and sloppy.
It's something that I never noticed as like a casual listener, like growing up. Anytime I put this album on, but yeah, you know, when you're sitting here like actually listening to it after you've heard the musicians talk about, oh, I was not ready to record that album. Yeah. Like that's when you start to really notice. And I mean, it's a minimalist song, but it's really hard to pull off. Like
you have to still have it be interesting.
Yeah.
This wasn't a band for the more minimalist Sabbath songs, I don't think. Like
Ozzy wasn't a very minimalist person at this point.
No.
You know, he was a very minimalist artist.
Which, yeah, and Ozzy was the biggest defender for me for like part of that was like I didn't buy the "Oh Please God Help Me" the same way I did on the original. Like it just wasn't as good. Like that part. Like that's what really sold me about the original Black Sabbath by the band Black Sabbath. From the album
Black Sabbath
was the "Oh God, Please Help Me," and like this one, that's not a part he nails. So, just not like the right energy for it. So, but that said, like I stopped nitpicking it once it did pick up. Yes, even though the playing was a little bit sloppy, it was a lot of fun when it like picked up and the bass started galloping. I thought like by then it's like, okay, I can feel this, and then there's the laughing, and yeah, that works. But like the slow parts, this isn't like the slow spooky version of Sabbath. This isn't the backing band for that, I don't think.
Yeah, I'd agree.
All right, so side 2, I think we got a really good selection of tracks here. We got Fairies Wear Boots, War Pigs, and The Wizard. And I think that was the first time The Wizard was played by like
not Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say but I don't think Black Sabbath played it in a long time before he played it on here. But
I wonder who plays the harmonica.
I think Ozzy
does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw that on. I just looked at that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the band photo on the back here, and it's the guys with the big poofy poodly hair. That was not a good era for hair, I don't think.
No.
The bangs.
Nobody had a good haircut.
Yeah.
His later '80s haircut was like he's like Farrah Fawcett hair.
Yeah.
Well, that was
the look.
yeah.
He reunited with Sabbath for like 3 songs at some like events, and you could tell it was from '85 just by the look.
Oh, it was Live Aid.
Yeah.
Live Aid.
Live Aid.
Yeah. All right, here's side 2.
Walker Pony.
Everyone has AIDS.
Or cities named after bands like Chicago.
Yeah.
In Kansas.
Well, you know,
and
I love-
Boston.
Well, they named Chicago after the band because they're so good.
All right,
I
guys,
think it's great.
Let's start a band right now called Omaha.
I think it's great how those small towns name themselves after the water towers, though.
Yeah.
All right, and we're back from side B of Speak or Talk of the Devil. What'd you guys think?
Woo! I liked 2 out of 3 songs, and the one I didn't like was one that I really love the Sabbath version of. But what's you
Yeah.
gonna do?
I agree.
Although these are 3 of my favorite Sabbath songs, so like anything that like if they would have messed up any one of these, it would have been a disappointment. So
Yeah, I agree.
but like yeah, two out of 3, pretty good.
Yeah, I think
As Meatloaf says, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I think for the bluesier numbers on this one, having Tommy Aldridge on drums like really benefited them because he fucking nailed.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Fairies Wear Boots and the Wizard. I'd say.
Great drummer.
The track you weren't really that impressed with was War Pigs, and was that just I don't like it as much? Like it was, did it still work for you as like part of the full set, or did it not work for you at all?
It really didn't work for me. It was a letdown. Like as a big fan of the original, I felt like every choice they made was it was like worse than the original in a way. Yeah.
It felt like the one song he didn't know very well at all, and then he was just faking it to make it, you know, kind of thing. That's what it felt like with that song.
The first solo was not good.
No.
It was not good. For a guy that has been absolutely shredding the whole record, that was the first not good solo.
Yeah.
Like after I heard it, I was like, I wonder if they could have just like not done the whole set and found a few other songs to cut into a single album. Like that's how much I didn't like that version of it.
I still think this probably could have been one single album with
Yeah.
the songs that it had.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, but I think because of the canon of Black Sabbath, he didn't have War Pigs on there.
Yeah,
the
you
record
needed-
label would have never let them get away with
Yeah.
that.
I needed to have that in the set. And if I was there, I probably would have dug it. You know what I mean? If I was in the crowd. But here, listening back to it, it is the letdown. But
Well, I mean, when I put this album on, I've never had a moment where I was like, "That's a terrible version of War Pigs." But I mean, I agree with you as that it's not as good as the Sabbath studio version. It's not as good as any of the Sabbath live versions I've heard.
Yeah, I agree.
But as like a fun live set of songs, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, we'll get into it a little more.
Well, yeah, let's we can go right into Fairies Wear Boots.
kick that.
Good version.
The song was a great version. The drums were great. The performance was great.
Got that swing and swagger that the original has.
And you have to have that for this kind of song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a grooving song.
And Brad Gillis, being more of a heavy metal shredder than a bluesy Iommi guy, I think did a great job adding his own flair to most of these tracks, including this one.
I liked his solo at the end. Yeah.
Without sounding like exactly like the original.
Well, and him trying to do like more of like one of the bluesier sounding Sabbath songs made it kind of. This sounded kind of like to me like what if Led Zeppelin did Fairies Wear Boots?
Yeah, I could see that.
Well, it's kind of funny that you say that because how they found Randy Rhoads, well, besides the fact that he was kind of a popular guitar player because he was in Quiet
Riot.
Yeah. Is that like every guitar player that came to audition for Ozzy all sounded like they were trying to be Tony
Yeah.
Iommi, and so like then Randy Rhoads came in and he sounded completely different, and he's like, and like he played for like 4 minutes or something like that, and I was like, you got the fucking job, dude.
Yeah, he pretty much just warmed up, and I remember reading that Randy like left that thinking like he didn't even hear me play.
Yeah, because his tone was so different than everybody else's. So, I mean, like, his tone is kind of what made Ozzy's, like, voice during his solo career. So, to have kind of this, where it's like a Randy Rhoads type sound, kind of, and then bringing it back to Sabbath is kind of interesting to hear. That's where I was going with that.
Yeah.
When I saw Ozzy on his own, I think it would have been like 2011, 2012. He had Gus G on guitar, and I just remember thinking, oh, thank God I get to see him with Gus G and not Zakk Wylde.
Yeah.
Anything you say about Brad Gillis on this, at least he doesn't put a pinch harmonic everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's a common criticism of Zakk Wylde, but it's like it's a criticism for a reason.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Fairies Wear Boots favorite song on the record so far for me.
I agree. I agree very
good
much
pick.
so. I don't know, the Wizard. We haven't gotten
the
to
Wizard
Maybe the Wizard.
Yeah.
The next song.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, War Pigs is the next one,
Oh yeah. Did we already talk about the Wizard?
No, we
which
haven't
is
talked.
Dave's least favorite
Yeah.
so far.
Oh yeah. War Pigs was also my least favorite so far.
Yeah, that version
There's a letdown.
was kind of crap.
I've heard Sabbath cover bands do it better.
And
And
they,
I mean, I hate to say it like that, like I'm being really disrespectful, but I've heard like a professional Sabbath cover band do that song better than that.
well, and the way you put it while we were listening to it, it's like they sped it up not to give it more energy, but it sounded like they're trying to get through
Yeah, they're
it.
just trying to speed through it. They're like, oh, here's War Pigs, we got to play this. And that may have been the attitude too. Like you said, the record company probably wouldn't have let them put out a Sabbath cover album without War Pigs on it.
Well, the only guy that wanted to do this was Ozzy.
Yeah.
That's true. And then
I don't even know why he wanted to do it. I think I read somewhere
get
that
back.
he's probably trying to get back at
Revenge.
his old band.
Don't say revenge. Don't say revenge.
Revenge. Oh, shit.
Well, I also read somewhere that they had also just gotten publishing rights back to a lot of the songs. So, like, Ozzy stood to make money off the publishing, but also the other Sabbath members. So I guess everybody kind of won with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I was gonna say he had to pay the other members to record this, right? He had to pay somebody.
Oh yeah,
I think they had to get some writing royalties for this too. Yeah.
yeah. I think their names are on it somewhere.
So I guess like this and Live Evil coming out right next to each other.
Good payday.
But yeah, it benefited all four of the original members of Sabbath, I think.
Yeah, and I saw an interview where they asked Geezer about this, and he said they couldn't afford not to release Live Evil, and he said that Ozzy got forced into doing this record. But
Live Evil they had to make for money.
Yeah.
Let's see, War Pigs.
The Wizard.
Oh, we already talked about War Pigs. The Wizard. I love this song, and it's cool that he's playing harmonica on it.
Yeah, I love this version too. Like,
This version's
very good.
kick ass.
the drums especially stood out. The drums and harmonica are what stood out to me the most on this.
Oh yeah, I was
Tommy Aldrich, I didn't really know fucking shredded like this. Like,
Yeah.
he's really good.
yeah, he
I got
fucking
to listen to more Black Oak, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Like I said, this guy is the closest I've heard come to Bill, besides Bill himself. Because I'm not that impressed with Vinny Appice, and Cozy Powell's in his own territory.
Well, Vinny Appice has always been living in the shadow of his brother.
Yeah, Carmine.
Carmine Appice is incredible.
It's not like I don't dislike Vinny, but I really wish Bill played on Devil You Know. That's the only note I have about that whole album. But.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which we'll find out when I bring it in sometime.
Yeah. How many seasons are we going to have as a podcast? How many Black Sabbath albums are there?
Because you can only do one a season.
Yeah.
Well, we ain't gonna get any more unless unless Tony's like, well, he's in the ground now. So Tony Martin, come in.
Tony Martin, they bring Tony, poor Tony Martin. They bring him out of the basement. The most loyal Sabbath member.
Yeah.
Been dragged through the mud.
Iommi said he's been working on an album with one singer, and I really hope it's Tony Martin.
That'd be cool. What if they
They
try?
could just call it Iommi Martin. It'd
What
be
if
fine.
it's Blaze
Or
Bailey?
what if they call it Headless Cross?
That's a good band name.
It is.
I think
Crossless head.
Crossless head. Cross purposes.
Yeah.
Cross pollination.
they should do. They should get Ian Gillan and do Born Again.
Yeah.
And Born Again.
All right, side 3.
Woo!
We got NIB.
One of my favorite Sabbath songs.
One of my favorite
Yeah.
Sabbath songs. Sweet Leaf,
Sweat Loaf.
Sweat Loaf.
Sweat Love.
I
And,
do like Sweet Leaf.
Never Say Die, which was the. It's kind of an interesting choice. It makes sense because that was the most recent album they had released with Ozzy, after he left. So it makes sense that it's here. But 50 years later, knowing what they think about that album, it was interesting that it ended up here. I think it's the best one on that album. So
I remember that
Hole in the
album being
Sky's on
kind
that
of
album,
shit.
isn't it? No, that's on Sabotage.
no.
I remember that album being shit, but I haven't heard it in years, so.
I like that one more than Technical Ecstasy, and I like both those albums. They're just not as good as the first 6.
Remember when? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, you were talking about how bad the Black Sabbath album covers are. I like the cover from Never Say Die. That's the only one I like.
Well,
that's Pilots.
Everybody has the T-shirt of it, including me.
Yeah.
Even though I'll make jokes about it, I do like the cover for Sabotage.
I like Bill Ward's Bill Ward's fucking red pants.
Yeah.
Stupid, sexy Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that none of them were under the impression that they were doing an album cover when they took that picture.
Oh, is that why it looks so fucking light?
Yeah. Remember?
Well, you look at Tony. He's in his day clothes.
Yeah.
can't see it
Bill
from
is
here.
literally wearing his mom's sweatpants, or not his mom's, his wife's
with matching
sweatpants.
slippers
Ozzy's in a fucking kimono, which I guess makes sense.
Yeah.
and heels.
This
Look at those
is what-
6-inch heels.
this
Like
is what-
Ozzy's wearing heels.
He has to be taller than every other member of the band. Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
No, remember when Lucid Fugue covered Junior's Eyes, though?
Yeah.
Speaking of late era Ozzy,
I want to redo the vocals on that and put it out. We should do that soon.
I love you, sweet leaf.
All right.
All right.
Y'all ready for side 3?
Yo.
Y'all ready
Yes.
for this?
Dun, 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 dun.
sucks.
That album cover looks like a rejected Hawkwind album cover.
There's one good song. What's the one good song on that?
Dirty Women.
Yeah, that one, Dirty Women.
When we do the Oops All Bad album season, I think that might be the Sabbath album I pick. I kind of want to pick 13 just because a bunch of people online bitch about it, but it's not a bad album. I think people just bitch about it.
Are we doing bad albums or just albums that people have strong negative opinions about?
Oh,
I think it's like a broad definition. It could be a bad album. It could be a critically panned album that gained a cult following later. It could be, I don't know, maybe the artist hates it, that kind of stuff.
Pinkerton would be a good one because, like,
You mean the best Weezer album?
yeah, well, at the time though,
It was panned at the
it
time.
was panned at the time, and people like were saying it was like one of the worst albums ever. Like, and it was their sophomore effort, and it didn't sound like the Blue album, so people didn't like it.
And the lyrics are uncomfortably creepy.
Yeah, so
So it's like,
but then
it's like Cable Guy except in album form.
but then
Yeah.
but then retroactively people started to listen to it, and
Yeah.
like Weezer hated it because it was like their kind of experiment, and then like they wouldn't even go near it until I think 20 years later they toured and would play the whole album on tour. But yeah,
It is their best album.
anyways,
And I will still say the lyrics are uncomfortably creepy.
yeah, I agree.
Speaking of uncomfortably creepy, Ozzy Osbourne.
Sex.
Depending on the era, anyway.
Depending on the era.
During this era, you probably wouldn't want to run into Ozzy. He was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
This is the same period he pissed on the Alamo, which I think was actually pretty cool of him. But
Yeah.
and it wasn't actually on the Alamo or something. Wasn't
It
it
was
just
on
nearby?
the wall. But he was wearing Sharon's dress at the time.
Awesome.
I want to pee on the Alamo from the left.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was side 3. 3 songs: NIB, Sweet Leaf, Never Say Die. What'd you guys think?
I think, gotta say, maybe the weakest side so far.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah. I did like the version of Never Say Die.
I liked everything, but
Yeah.
I personally didn't find out any of it like super compelling or like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that it brought anything new or needed to be made or anything,
Passable version of Sweet Leaf. A version of NIB that started strong and then just kind of
petered
petered
out.
out.
I thought it was too fast. Like, it was like way too fast.
That seems to be a common problem, is that a lot of it is just really fast, and I think Sabbath is a band that lends itself more to a slower tempo.
But maybe this means that the version of Paranoid off of this will be great because that is a song that's good fast. So
I guess I kind of look at it this way: this is Ozzy's solo band doing Sabbath songs. So like, I guess when they stray into a faster pace, it doesn't really bother me because I don't see this as Sabbath. But.
Yeah, well, that's a dumb way to think about it.
But NIB is like one of my favorite songs by Sabbath, and like for them to kind of play it more metal than like,
I didn't
Then
particularly
Blues
care
Song.
for this
Yeah.
version, at least, in comparison to other versions I've heard. Like, basically everything Dave said about War Pigs, I kind of felt about this one. Like, I felt like the guitar tone was off. Like, it was just missing something. That,
No bass solo. That's what it was missing. No bass
And
solo.
I agree with you, Steve. There was something messed up with this version.
and then the end was like the generic hair metal outro. The
That said, I thought Rudy Sarzo did a great job on the bass line for it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kicks ass.
Yeah.
The bass player is killing it. The drummer, bass player is killing it. The guitar player, he's doing a really good job for someone that just learned the song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm giving him credit for that. Like, if you only had like a few days to learn how many songs are on this album? 12.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
yeah. Maybe if you'd had another week.
And it had to have been like a major pain in the ass to like track down these songs to learn them too. I mean, nowadays, you can do that pretty easily. Like, I'm thinking about that dude that filled in for Mastodon, like right at the last minute. Like, that had to have been a Herculean task that would have been impossible in the pre-digital age.
Yeah.
First track, NIB.
Meh.
Meh, not the worst version I ever heard. Wouldn't skip it. I mean, when I put this on, I tend to listen to the whole thing. So
I would say I agree. This, like, we're just being nitpicky because that's kind of the format, but I don't think I would actually skip any of these songs. I think they're all decent.
Like, if I was listening in my car, I wouldn't notice all the things that I've nitpicked on the 2 songs that didn't really work for me. So
Yeah.
Up until I mean, these were my introductions to these songs. So obviously, I'm going to be biased based on that. But yeah, after hearing the Sabbath versions, it becomes a lot more obvious. Like, you know, where they fudged in certain spots, but you know, sometimes that ends up resulting in some cool moments on this album, I think, as well. But,
Yeah.
next song, Sweet Leaf.
it was all right.
Yeah, and they did do a good, but Clayton was like, it's kind of hard to fuck this song up.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard song to fuck up. Like, the riff is just so good that it's so simple. It's kind of, if you fuck it up, you got to try to fuck it up.
Yeah.
But that opener, that
See, if that doesn't hit, like, I don't know what to tell
you
you, bro.
fucked it up.
I don't know what to tell you.
Well, then it's such a good riff that a band fucked it up on purpose and it still worked, which was the Butthole Surfers with Sweat Loaf.
And then, but yeah.
Speaking of buttholes, watching the Osbournes, watch the Osbournes. Jack made Kelly reveal what her AOL username was, and it was Butthole Love. Love with LUV.
Butthole Love.
That is an AIM high schooler name. Yeah.
Well, it was
Jax was Jack Sabbath.
Oh
See,
yeah,
that's clever.
That
and
makes
then
sense.
he was, but then like they were like, oh, why Zach Sabbath, you know, like,
Yeah.
and then but it was funny because the girl that's like their like moderator,
She's really funny.
she's fucking hilarious, and she's like, I think she said to Ozzy, I think I've seen your asshole more than I've seen my own, or something, because they were showing like clips of Ozzy mooning the crowd, and so she's like, I think I've seen your asshole more than I've seen my own.
How
I had
often
an
do you
ex-
see your own asshole? Because
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had an ex that said Ozzy has a hot ass, so
Oh, there you go.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Heard it here first, folks.
Are you jealous? No, why would you be jealous? Yeah.
at the time I was, because I wasn't polyamorous yet. But all right, and then closed out with Never Say Die, the title track to the llast album they did with him.
I liked this version quite a bit. Like, this is good. Reminded me of Thin Lizzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying I only heard Never Say Die like probably one time, so this was basically like hearing a new song, and I thought it was good.
Not as good as Symptom of the Universe, and I feel like they're kind of like similar songs.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Not. Yeah, maybe
I
they
agree
are.
with
I was
that.
like, Sun Silence, maybe I'm wrong, but
No.
they're similar, like in tone, but I think Symptom was better.
Oh yeah, Symptom of the Universe. I actually thought was a kick-ass opener.
Yeah, I don't. I was just lukewarm on this whole side. Everything was like, oh, yeah, these are Sabbath songs. This is a great Sabbath cover band.
Yeah, I guess this side was just the cover band side.
Speaking of cover bands, it was really cool to see Talking Heads dude, David Byrne. He just randomly walked into a cover band like set and just performed with them.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Like, just like it was like a small stage. It was like a tiny gay bar in New York. He just showed up one night and got on stage.
David Byrne.
I remember seeing I think it was Chris Novoselic was like, he just like randomly showed up. There was like a Nirvana cover band, and like there was footage of this, and he just randomly showed up and like was watching the Nirvana cover band, and like the bass player is playing, and then all of a sudden he looks down, he's like, holy fuck. You know, so anyways, yeah, that's funny to me.
Yeah.
All right, side 4. We got Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath,
Nice.
Iron Man / Children of the Grave.
That's cheating. That's 2 fucking songs.
Well, they kind of mashed them together
It's
in
gonna be a
Ozzy's solo
medley.
set. I think they completely omitted like the Iron Man solo part, and that's when they go into Children of the Grave or something like that. And then they close out with Paranoid. Fun fact: the band was told that they weren't going to release these songs with him. They were going to just use a recording of Randy Rhoads playing these 3 songs. So they said, just go loose. You don't have to learn them note for note.
Oh,
So these last 3 songs are real.
Yeah, they ended up saving those for the tribute live album. So I don't remember how rough those were. I don't remember thinking they sounded rough when I listened to like the bootleg, but I was also at work, like not critically listening. So we'll see how well those go.
I've heard a version of Randy Rhoads playing Paranoid. It was pretty good.
From the Randy Rhoads tribute album.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, probably, yeah. Because his solo on that version is fucking awesome. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Fun fact: he was not a Sabbath fan.
Oh yeah,
we talked about that.
Oh, did we?
yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah, you mentioned that, Steve.
Hey, did you
Well,
know
I have
Randy?
ADHD, so I'm going to mention it 3 more times.
Hey, Steve, did you know Randy Rhoads wasn't a Sabbath fan?
He didn't even really like Black Sabbath then.
Yeah, that's why he was so different. And when he went to the audition, I'm gonna be telling the story again. There you go.
Classical guitar.
He was a
He actually
classic.
wasn't even that big of a Sabbath fan.
Yeah.
Did you know that? I didn't know that. He wasn't a Sabbath fan.
So you know who else wasn't a Sabbath fan?
Randy
Rhoads.
All right, we're done trolling Steve.
I also
Let's-
looked it up, and I didn't know that Rudy Sarzo was also the bass player from Quiet Riot and joined Ozzy's band on Randy's suggestion. Because I guess him and Randy Rhoads were really close friends.
While they were doing this album, he was maybe not this. While he was in Ozzy's band, he was secretly recording Metal Health, and when that album got released, he's like, "Oh, bye, Ozzy," and it pissed Ozzy off so much that a few years later he punched him backstage. But he ended up playing the Back to the Beginning show, so I guess everything.
I mean, bygones be bygones.
Well, I mean,
He quit Ozzy to play the Metal Health Quiet Riot album?
yeah.
Well, like Lou
I'm still
Reed,
reading.
his biggest solo album, Transformer, was like recorded by David Bowie. David Bowie wanted to do another album, and Lou Reed punched him for it because he hated the sound of Transformer.
Yeah.
Apparently, he challenged Lars to a street fight.
Yeah. Well, and then shortly after that, there's a live Bowie performance, the one that makes it on the Ziggy Stardust live concert movie, where Bowie does "I'm Waiting for the Man" by the Velvet Underground, and he's like, "This is a song by one of the best songwriters I know. I hope he still likes me."
All right, side 4. Let's do this.
Woo!
Some people.
Oh, Kramer. It sucks because he's like my favorite part of the show too.
Oh, it's the best part of the show.
UHF, he's so funny. Like, what a funny guy. But damn. You just can't say that. You just can't say those
He
things.
said the unsayable word.
Yeah,
I like
he
that-
said something unsayable.
I like the episode of South Park they did about it too.
Yeah. What's your favorite quote from that? Do you have any good quotes from that episode you want to say? Do you have any good quotes from the Kramer?
Ooh,
rant
let's
you'd
get
like to say
Dave-
over the microphone
Let's
now?
get
While
let's
we're
get
recording
Dave
on the
canceled.
record.
Well,
I'll do
speaking
it.
of speaking, Speak of the Devil by Ozzy Osbourne. Welcome back, everyone.
Talk of the devil.
Talk of the devil.
Talking to devil.
Talk of the devil, dude.
What did you guys think of the last side?
Sabbath Bloody Sabbath was the one that was.
Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is the rehearsal song,
song.
correct?
Yeah.
Are we correct in that? We're guessing.
Correct.
Yeah. The instruments are so different. Like the recording is way different.
Well, and you guys pointed out, like, you couldn't really hear the crowd during the rest of it, but they faked the crowd for that song. It is fucking obvious.
It's so obvious that it's just a fake crowd.
I was like,
they pumped
I
it.
just started hearing the crowd through it. I'm like, they fucking put that in there.
And it was also like the weird kind of fake live fidelity of the vocals matched the rest of the instruments.
Well, they were recording in the same space, but it was empty. I mean, there wasn't
Yeah.
thousands of pounds of human meat there to soak up the sound. So yeah, it was obvious. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I remember you even perked up and went, "Oh, we're supposed to be looking out for the one that was the fake one, right?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah." Even if it was subconscious, that's when you noticed.
Yeah.
Like, this is different than the rest.
I actually noticed it when I was going to the bathroom. I'm like, this sounds weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Again,
And then they skipped like parts of the song. So
The high
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Where can
Which-
you run to?
So like even if they skipped it like I wouldn't imagine them skipping it live, like if they were playing it live. And even if they because even if he didn't nail it, he was going back and redoing his vocals anyways. So he probably could have hit it like in the studio.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the sessions for that little rehearsal, because I wonder if maybe this was just maybe they warmed up with it and they just had Ozzy put vocals over it or something, because it's as far as I know, every single other song on this came from the second night.
Yeah.
That was the faked one.
One thing that I like this as a song, this isn't unique to this version, but the slower parts are where you can really hear the inner hippie that is Ozzy come through too. It's not just the Prince of Darkness, it's you can kind of hear the peace and love guy.
Prince of Peace and Love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say, because I was going to say it earlier, but so this album actually was kind of a hit. It hit, it was number 14 on the US Billboard 200 chart.
Oh.
It peaked at number 14, and then the UK albums, it was number 21, and the Canada albums, it was number 10. Paranoid off of this album was it was a hit. It peaked at number 25.
A moderate hit.
So it was a moderate hit of mainstream rock radio.
Yeah, I
And
think
then Iron Man and Children of the Grave was 32.
I think it beat out Live Evil in sales.
Ozzy's just a bigger name.
Yeah.
He was huge at this point.
Ozzy was bigger than Black Sabbath at this point, honestly.
Bigger than Jesus.
Bigger
Yeah,
than Jesus.
Well, I mean, coming off of Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman, which were both incredible albums.
Yeah, and huge
Yeah.
commercially successful albums.
So yeah, I just wanted to point out that this album actually was a success.
And what's interesting is it's out of print. Ozzy didn't like it as part of his catalog, so eventually he just let it go out of print. So you can't find it on the streaming services. You can't find it on YouTube. That's how I'd been listening to it this week, getting ready for the episode. And you can also find the full bootleg show on YouTube, and then you can find parts of the 26th show, the one from the preceding night.
That album that you have right there is actually I looked on Amazon, it's like $200.
yeah.
So
I got it for $5.
Yeah.
so you might actually have something that's worth some money there. But that's new. They always try to say it's new, but then whatever. Anyways,
Discogs is probably a lot different.
Yeah.
I think this is one you could probably easily still find, if you go around to a few different record stores. I'll bet you
They probably printed so many copies
Yeah.
of it. When it came out in Ozzy's heyday, if it peaked at number 14, it sold.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I honestly kind of get why Ozzy came to not like it. I enjoyed it, but he got back on good terms with the rest of the guys in Sabbath, and he did reunion shows with them that the recordings of are better than this.
Yeah. The reunion album is better than this album, I'd say.
Yeah.
I remember buying the reunion live album back in the 90s.
Yeah, I've got a CD copy of it right over there. Actually.
I also, part of this was, kind of setting up a definitive, greatest hits, song list to put on this album, too, to some degree. And I don't think that's what he would consider to be, all the songs that he wants necessarily the band to be remembered by, even at this point. Some of them, yeah, but, I think there's a degree to which, this is what he wanted to have the definitive statement on what the band was at that time, and that probably shifted over the years.
Yeah, I'd say so. And in the modern day, I mean, Ozzy has a big collection of solo songs to also be proud of. Although, I mean, those first two albums, like the tribute album, is a great live album in its own. So, this is a fun release, I'd say. Probably would have been awesome to attend one of these shows.
Yeah.
And it's a record label mandated release that probably wouldn't have existed for any artistic reason. But that said, I think it's still really fun to listen to. And if it's something you're already familiar with, check out the bootlegs. The bootlegs are like interesting. Like he doesn't sound perfect. In fact, like you guys heard, he sounds atrocious on a few songs.
Yeah.
But you actually get the energy of the show. Like one thing about this album is that the crowd noises were legitimate, and you can tell
Except on Sabbath Bloody Sabbath.
yeah, except for that one. In which case, I'm sure they pulled that from another part of the show, or even. Side 4, on the last 3 songs, the Iron Man, Children of the Grave, Paranoid, they were. The band was basically told, we're going to use the Randy Rhoads version that actually ended up on Tribute. So they were like, don't worry about that one, guys. You can let loose. You don't got to learn those note for notes. And I think it benefited the performance. I think they let loose and they played more comfortable to their playing style.
Yeah.
And I think it led to more interesting versions of the songs.
I think they were good takes.
Yeah.
Especially the solo in Paranoid was crazy.
I thought it was great.
The solo in Paranoid was fucking wild. He
Nothing
was
like
shredding.
Iommi's solo, but
No.
really damn good in
He
its
was
own right.
absolutely shredding.
Yeah. So I kind of wish they would have approached the entire album that way, but
Yeah.
oh well.
It's like the whole thing where you're like, when you're recording, you play the song perfectly all the time in practice, on stage, blah, blah, blah. And then you go to hit the record button. You're like, fuck. I forgot how to play.
All right, track by track, we already really went through Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. So the Iron Man Children of the Grave medley mashup, however you want to say it. I think, Dave, you mentioned you liked their approach to that.
Yeah, I liked the crowd work leading into it. I thought that was really good. And that also is just a good demonstration of just how charismatic Ozzy was as a frontman. Just the way he's getting the crowd to go along with it. And yeah, I thought that was really cool. I liked the transition into Children of the Grave. I thought that they picked a good spot to do it, and I like mashing these 2 songs together. I thought that it really worked. Iron Man is, in my opinion, the most overplayed of the classic Sabbath songs, so I don't mind doing a shortened version that's kind of spliced in with a little bit of a deeper cut. I know it's not that deep of a cut, but one that's comparatively.
Yeah.
And I like the novelty of putting those 2 songs together rather than just doing all of Iron Man. So
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have been able to get away with it later in his career. Like if he would have been I don't think they ever did this when they reunited. I don't think they'd ever be able to get away with splicing the 2 together. But I thought it was a smooth transition into the other song.
Yeah, that's the way that they'd been performing it in his solo set. They do the exact same thing on Tribute. And yeah, like you said, we've heard Iron Man so many times. It was cool to do the meat of that song and then transition into a deeper cut that I think probably deserved more attention. So yeah. I think Children of the Grave also benefited from the same energy that the band brought to Symptom of the Universe as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was harder.
And then, it leads to the finale, Paranoid. Damn good version.
Yeah.
Good version, great solo.
Band sounds like they're having fun, not trying to replicate Sabbath and just doing their own take on it. It was good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, great recording, great record.
Yeah, and that brings us to the end. I think it's an album worth listening to.
Yeah.
It's solid for what it is.
Yeah.
It's a label mandated Black Sabbath cover album by Ozzy that nobody really wanted to do except Ozzy and the label. But it still turned out pretty good. Like
It
just
could have
shows
been
that-
worse.
It just shows like the talent of Ozzy to still pull it together. I mean, even though he re-recorded everything in the studio, but also like the talent to the bands, the musicians that he brought in.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's an impressive story. I mean, they didn't have a whole lot of time to get that together, and I think part of them like flying on the seat of their pants with it almost ready to fall apart at any moment lends to some of the charm of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A hypothetical single album version, though, where you leave off War Pigs, all of side 3, and maybe cut down on some of like the crowd work moments between, though, I think would be a really cool single album.
yeah.
I don't think I'd make any changes. I think I enjoy putting this one on from time to time. I mean, when it comes to live Sabbath, you got so many better choices, but I think it's a unique release.
It's a cool time capsule, too.
Yeah.
I do think it's valid.
Yeah, and I would I'd rather like to have one of those. I'm not going to pay $200 for it though. Fuck
You
you.
can get it on Discogs for relatively cheap. Mint ones.
Sometime we should take a trip over to the record shop over in Council Bluffs and browse through his stuff, because he's got like a huge collection. And
One thing,
Gainesville?
Gainesville, yeah.
One thing you could always do is you could get a USB turntable, and you can borrow
that's
that,
what mine is.
and you can rip it onto your computer.
Oh. I
I've
could.
got one of them.
Yeah.
But the one I have, it all rips it as one song. You have to like
Yeah.
stop it in the grooves and like physically start a new track, or else it'll just record it all as one long song.
Yeah. Or get like an audio editing program and like break it. Yeah.
It's almost like what they did with Husker Du's first album, which was a completely live album.
Yeah.
It's called Land Speed Record. But like on the CD version, it's only like one track. It's only 2 tracks because it's basically one side, second side.
I don't listen, like, since I only have the CD version, I don't listen to it that often because they didn't break it up into songs.
Yeah, I know. And it's sonically not great.
No, it's a very, very sloppy from the board. Like, the performance is fine, but the recording sucks.
Yeah.
It's too bad that they decided to make that their first record, honestly.
Well,
Yeah.
and that was Speak of the Devil.
That was, yeah.
That was Speak of the Devil.
Speak of the Devil, better than Land Speed Record by Husker Du.
Yes.
All right, well, rest in peace, Ozzy.
We love you, Ozzy.
R.I.P. Ozzy.
R.I.P.
Made a lot of music that impacted me greatly. If it wasn't for him,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be a musician
Yeah.
today. So
Well, it's like when people were saying that we probably wouldn't have heavy metal without Black Sabbath, especially like the earlier years. I think that's actually true, like to some degree. Like other genres, you can take out a single artist and it would more or less develop as it was. You know, like if we took out the Ramones, we'd still have punk rock.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
still people doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
it's an interesting thought experiment, because you take out Black Sabbath. I mean, I'm sure they had a gigantic influence on fellow Birmingham band Judas Priest, and
Yeah.
you know, in a lot of ways, like I consider Sabbath like more of a heavy rock band, and Sabbath is more, and Priest is more the first heavy metal band. But I mean, without the heavy rock of Black Sabbath, there wouldn't have been the heavy metal of Judas Priest. So
And without Steppenwolf, you wouldn't have had the term heavy metal.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that, because we listened to that song "Heavy Metal" with the movie.
Yeah.
Well, no.
That Don Felder song. So Don Felder could have invented heavy metal still.
No, it
could've,
was
yeah.
off of Born to Be Wild, because he says heavy metal thunder. Yeah. Love you, Ozzy.
Yeah.
I know my voice sounds sarcastic, but Ozzy was a huge influence on me too. Like our Black Sabbath, and like when I was a kid and learning like Iron Man when I was starting to play guitar, Paranoid, that kind of stuff. So
Iron Man's one of the first riffs I learned. I think the first riff I learned was "Smoke on the Water," and then the second one
I
was
was
Iron
saying,
Man.
everybody, the first 2 riffs they learn are "Smoke on the Water." and
Right.
Iron Man. That was the first 2 riffs I learned.
Yeah.
Like everybody.
I liked it before it was cool.
That's the first two. As soon as that song came out, as soon as those songs came out, everybody learned them on guitar.
Well, I'll say this about Ozzy. I wasn't too upset when he died, just because my first thought was, hell yeah, what a fucking life. Like,
Yeah.
he beat all the odds, and
He made it.
yeah, made a lot of cool moments along the way. So
He outlived a lot of his contemporaries.
I was shocked he outlived Dio.
Yeah.
In fact, I think Ozzy was shocked he outlived Dio. I remember seeing like reports that like he was upset and like considering his own mortality after Dio passed away. Which, I mean, that had to have been kind of a mind fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be out by the time this episode airs, but I recorded a version of Paranoid where I played all the instruments that I'll be putting out soon, so keep an eye out for that. Hey y'all, Future Steve here. This is out, and you can now check it out on all major streaming platforms. Yay! You can catch me and Dave and Sean in a band called the Alliterates. We're about to work on a new album soon, so
And we're going to be on a Christmas compilation.
we are, and another compilation after that, hopefully. So we recorded a really cool version of John Cale's.
Child's Christmas in Wales. Yeah.
I really liked how that one turned out.
Yeah. And then, Clayton, do you want to plug your shit?
Yeah, I'm in a band called Jeremy Mercy and the Rapture Orphans. We are recording a new album currently, and it will be out soon. And I also have a new, vaguely Sopranos-themed sludge metal band named Manson Lamps. You can go ahead and look us up, and we'll have a record out soon as well.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brothers. Keep on keeping on. Keep the faith. R.I.P. Ozzy.
You should do...
Peace, love, and riff.
Now let's do some lines.
For Manson Lamps, you should do a sludge metal cover of "Don't Stop Believin'," but like stop it, like in
That
the
would
middle.
be, don't stop.
Yeah,
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Yeah.
We may. We did walk out to the Sopranos theme song at our last show. I like made the sound man put it on.
fuck yeah.
I was like, will you play this before we stop? Woke up this morning.
So Dave, you suggested we do like a medley of people that passed away this year, and what was that? It was something from Black Sabbath, and
Yeah,
then
I think you said "Who Are You," which I think would be good, but I also think maybe "Killing Yourself to Live" would be good, or "Sabbath Bloody Sabbath" could also be good for that. But
Yeah.
we'll negotiate. But yeah, I would like to do a Pere Ubu song. I was thinking like 30 Seconds Over Tokyo, because I think that would flow well, like either to or from a Black Sabbath song, and then Gang of Four, since their original bassist died. I think Ether would be one that would fit with those other two.
And then we got to do the Hulk Hogan America song.
But I also think we
We
need.
also have to do "Feel So Good" by Chuck Mangione.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What I was thinking too, though, is like close it off with like Tom Lehrer. We'll all go together when we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Then finish it all with "Always look on the bright side of life."
But no, but Michael Palin is still alive. Hopefully for a while.
Well, that was Eric Idle.
Oh yeah, Eric Idle. Yeah, he's also still alive.
No, he's dead.
Yeah.
They're all.
He died last
The
year.
only one that the Graham Chapman and Terry Jones are the only two that passed away.
that are still alive.
No, those are the two that passed.
Oh, I thought Eric Idle was dead too.
No,
I thought
he's
he died
alive.
just like last year.
Yeah.
No, Terry Jones and Graham Chapman.
Yeah. Terry Gilliam, John Cleese, Michael Palin, Eric Idle, all
Still
still
alive.
all still kicking.
All right.
I think they all hate each other at this point. But, or no, I think they all hate John Cleese. But yeah.
I don't think so. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Let's close it.
See you later, guys.
Fuck off.
And say
And
anything.
Oh, catch you on the flip side.
flippity floppity floppity floppity.
Or the very least.
Goof Goof Studios production. Please check out the description for more information about the guests and the album we reviewed. You can find us on Bluesky under the names Kill Rock Music, that's KILRAVOCK, and Dave under Beastmaster General. You can find us on Instagram under Kill Rock Music SWS and Dave_Diction. And you can also find our regular contributor Sean under the name Boozer Slug. You can find Steve and Sean on Threads with the same usernames as Instagram. Check out our post-punk band The Alliterates, our experimental group Lucid Fugue, and Steve's solo project Kill Rock on most major streaming platforms. You can visit Steve's website, killrockmusic.com, for easy access. That's KILRAVOCK music.com. And if you want to check out Dave's past band Gong Farmer and their album Pop Dada, you can do so on Bandcamp. Thanks.
Everyone we worked with is dead.
Really rip.
I need to change my pants.
Check. Leonard Bernstein.
I hate it so much I skipped the whole Destroyer.
Allow me to play you out.
Dirty Dave just pooped his pants.
Yes, indeed.
Perfect hooker murdering song.
Kick out the jazz, motherfucker! Are you ready?
Steve's got some cheese.
Get my podcast voice ready to go.
Chow Wobble. What a name.
I'm Ivan Moody, and I'm having a psychotic break.
Testicules.
That is a fun fact.
There's a jazz hole.
What do you mean this song is called Sweet Pea?
Now that we're done with Steve's Rorschach test, let's talk about the album.
For fuck's sake.
That's not very Zizzian of you guys. It's a professional operation over here.
This is Fantasia for people who had to repeat the 9th grade.
Heavy metal.
Yeah, hands off, Britain. We'll dump it in the sea again.
Shove it.
I love California.
Cunt.
I.
All aboard! All right. You're the beer thief.